I am good.
All right. Good evening. We'll call the City of Norwich Zoning Board of Appeals for Tuesday, May 11th. We'll call the meeting to order. Through the COVID protocols, we've been skipping the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll move on to roll call and seating of members. We have Peter Kuprak,
Present.
Greg Slough. Greg Slough. You're muted, Greg. Greg Slough. Greg Slough is present. Dave Martin.
Present.
Mark Benjamin, present.
Sorry.
All right, there's Greg. Bob Phoenix.
Present.
That was Greg, correct? Dottie Travers. Absent. I'm showing Dottie Travers and Bob Phoenix present. So we do have 4 regular members. So all 4 members will be seated for the applicants. Communications, Rich?
None.
Okay. Acceptance of the April 13th, 2021 meeting minutes.
Move they be accepted.
Can I get a second, please?
I second. Dave Martin.
Any errors, omissions, or corrections, anyone?
Danny.
Seeing none, all those in favor to accept the minutes as presented? Peter Kuprak,
Aye.
Greg Slough,
He's not on for some reason.
Dave Martin.
Aye.
Oh, Greg's got a delay.
Aye.
Thank you. And Mark Benjamin, aye. Unanimous motion's been passed. The meeting minutes have been accepted as presented. Old business?
Rich,
None.
Okay. New
I'm not hearing
business. Before we move into new business, just for housekeeping purposes, I have spoken to Rich, who in turn has spoken to Deanna, and we've had a few conversations concerning this. One of the applicants is a fireman in the city of Norwich, along with myself.
hey, Rich, just keep me there because I can't hear her. It's this break. I can't hear anything Mark's saying.
Okay. Are you
Okay.
good now?
I can hear you now. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
Everything was breaking up. I was getting like every third word.
Okay. So in order for a variance to be heard and accepted, it has to have 4 affirmative votes. Tonight, we only have 4 seated members.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right.
So
If there's a problem, I'll call you back.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I was planning to recuse myself from this application because Mr. Flaherty and I both work for the city of Norwich within the same fire department. The problem with that is, 1, we wouldn't have enough seated members. 2, the fire service is so vast, and in typical fire department fashion, the people that volunteer for things volunteer for everything. And 4 of us tonight on this application, between the applicant and 3 of us, are all connected somehow through the fire service. And if we all had to recuse ourselves because of a connection through the fire service, we could never take any action. But I have no vested interest in the property. I have no financial gain in it. And in order for fairness for the applicant, I think it's necessary for me to vote on it. There's nothing for me to do it to gain by this. I originally spoke with another member, considered taking myself off the application only because we work in the same department. Neither one of us are each other's immediate supervisor, and there's nothing else there. But just given what the planning director advised is that I come right out on the record in the very beginning and explain the situation. If anybody has a problem with it, I will recuse myself on that. So I'm putting it to the other board members before we go any further.
Well, I'd have to say the same thing, Mark. I've probably known him longer than you. I know I knew him when he was a little kid down at the firehouse, so I have no vested interest either, so I see no problem voting on this at all.
Dave, any concerns?
I have none.
Okay. Greg?
No, I think it's fine. If you feel you can be fair and honest, I don't see a reason why you can't do it.
Okay. And once I open it, I will ask the applicant if he has a problem with it, and I'll certainly give him the opportunity to have me step down. But
Okay.
I was advised to put it out there. When I talked to Rich this afternoon, he appreciated the fact that I was putting it out and didn't see a problem with it. But then he just followed it up through the chain and said, there's certainly no reason for any of us to have to step off.
Okay.
All right. So with all of that paperwork taken care of, I'm going to move into new business. Application V2105, 23 Blueberry Hill Road, request for variance, zoning regulation, section 1.1, residential bulk requirements to reduce the side yard setback from a minimum of 15 feet to 3 feet for the construction of a 33-foot by 15-foot attached garage addition. Property of John T. Flaherty, Elizabeth C. Flaherty, application of Ryan Flaherty, assessors map 73, block 1, lot 61, R20 zone. And now I'll turn it over to Rich.
Okay, I will share my screen. Can you see that?
Says started city. There we go. Yep.
Okay, so
Oh, there it is.
hold on one second. I have got to open a different file for you. I opened the wrong file. Bear with me. I need the exhibit list. Here we go. Okay, I apologize. My exhibit list is probably at the end of, there it is. It's at the end where it should be at the beginning. Okay. Exhibits: A, ZBA application; B, grounds for hardship; C, site plan number 2; D, site plan number 1; E, photo; F, aerial photo; G, GIS map; H, a butters letter; I, assessor's card, 2 pages, and there is no memorandum, photos, and documents attached. As I said, this was the wrong file because that's the wrong abutters, that's the wrong attachment list. But all the exhibits are correct.
Okay. So you have your cards and everything. Everything's good to move on this, Rich?
Yep, everything's good.
Okay. Could we unmute the applicant, please?
Yes, we can.
Wait, they don't even keep.
This is so confusing.
Last month, according to the email.
Yes. Okay, I believe Ryan, I unmuted you.
Can you hear me now?
All right. We just need you to give your name and address for the record, Mr. Flaherty.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan James Flaherty, and I live at 23 Blueberry Hill Road here in Norwich, Connecticut.
Okay. First things first. One point that I brought up, the fact that we work within the same department. Do you have an issue with any one of us, being seated on this application? Do you feel it'll be fair application for you?
I do not have a problem with it, and I appreciate all of you serving on this board.
Okay. Next question is, normally whenever we have a hearing, there's 5 seated members. Tonight, we only have 4. Now, in order for a variance to pass, you have to get 4 affirmative votes, regardless of how many are seated. So you have the opportunity tonight to ask for a continuance and wait for a full slate, so we could have a 5th member seated. But if you want to proceed and you only get 3-1, the variance will not pass. So if you feel it's in your best interest or you need to move forward, you have the right to. But if you feel you want to increase your odds for fear of one of us not accepting it, you may want to consider continuing till next month.
I appreciate that, but I would like to proceed tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. We good, Rich, on that?
We're good.
Okay. So now I just need you, Mr. Flaherty, to explain to the board what you'd like to do, what your hardship is, and why you need to do it.
All right. Thank you for giving me the floor. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan. So we live in a ranch on Blueberry Hill in the annex section of Norwich. We have 5 adults living here, which has been great. But unfortunately, the house is on a slab, so we don't have a basement. So the house is pretty cluttered, and we often run out of room pretty quickly. Originally, my brother and I wanted to have a shed from Carefree built and put in our backyard. And before purchasing it, I reached out to Mr. Shuck in the zoning office and just asked him how to properly go about that process. And he actually told me I had to get permission from Eversource first, because I have 3 large wooden poles in the center of my backyard that are about 80 feet tall that have high tension power lines running through the center of our backyard. So then I called and emailed Eversource. The guy was actually great about getting back to me that same day. And unfortunately, due to those high tension power lines going through the center of my backyard, he said that I am not allowed to put anything under those power lines or on 25 feet to either side of them. They said they have an easement. So he pretty much said my backyard, he's like, I'm sorry, sir, but you cannot put anything there. So there went the idea of purchasing a shed from Carefree. So because the shed got shut down in my backyard, I guess I could put a shed on the right side of my house, but I don't think that would look aesthetically pleasing. And I don't think it would look good for the neighborhood. So my brother and I discussed it, and we would actually like to build or have an attached garage built on the right side of our home that would have a little setback. The house is 36 feet on that right side, but the electrical panel comes in on that front right corner, on like the Alpha Delta corner there. So I'd have it about 3 feet behind it, a little setback. Then it would run the length of the house and would be 33 feet long after that. And it would end right there with the back right corner. On that front right side, it's 18 feet to the property line. And then on the back, it's 21 feet off. So that front right corner would be about 3 feet. So before moving forward with this, I actually spoke with my neighbor, Francine Bachman, and she's been there since before I was born. She's like my grandma. She's fantastic. And she said, no problem. And whatever we could actually do to keep us here longer as neighbors, she would like that. And honestly, I've been a city of Norwich resident my whole life. I love living here and would like to continue that way. But through the years, I would just say the house has gotten cluttered, and my mother's actually getting older now, and with the garage, we'll be able to put her car in the garage, and that would be nice too. So during the winter, she wouldn't have to go out and clean that off and just keep her safe. Also, our neighborhood, unfortunately, over the last year, even though the Norwich Police has done a fantastic job of patrolling our neighborhood, There's still been some break-ins. It seems like every other month, there's teenagers from other cities and towns going through. So at least from my mom's car in there and our equipment. Like, I gotta be honest with you, right now, my lawnmower is under a tarp in my backyard, and my chainsaw and my weed whacker and my backpack blower are all in my neighbor Fran's yard in her shed. She's been fantastic through the years about letting us keep some of our stuff in her shed, but I don't feel like I should have to do that. And I would much rather take more advantage of our own property, have a garage built to be able to house my own stuff in our garage where it's safe, secure, and locked up, especially at night, and we don't have to worry about that. I actually walked up and down all of Blueberry Hill a couple of weeks ago, and I spoke with every family on Blueberry Hill and Watson Drive at the end. And then I went out back to Mountain View, is a road behind me, and I spoke to about 6 families, just that would all kind of, not that their yard even touches ours, some of them, but I went and spoke to them anyways and introduced myself, and all of them gave me the approval, said they wouldn't have an issue with it. And a handful of neighbors actually came over for dinner tonight just because they said they wanted to be here to support me and show their, just that they're in favor of it. I also talked to Uncas Health District. They emailed me a copy of our septic system blueprints, and our tank is in the backyard in the center, and then the leaching field goes out to the hill and spans about 75 feet wide. So like pretty much between Eversource and my septic, I can't put anything else in the backyard, which is why my hardship is truly Eversource with the power lines. And if this gets approved, I would love to have a garage there to be able to house all of our own stuff in. And then as far as my neighbors that came over, I also sent out, I spoke with Mr. Shuck. He was excellent through the process and sent me the letter that I had to have certified with 10 letters sent out to multiple neighbors with the returned receipts that I turned into the zoning office. So he has all those green cards showing the certified letters. And then I have my neighbor Francine Bachman here from 19 Blueberry Hill. My neighbor Patty Clausen, she's next door at 27 Blueberry Hill. Across the street, we have Ryan and Kathy Shamroy. And then that's my mom right there. She's actual owner with my brother and sister. And then my other neighbor, Sean Bennett, who lives down the end of Blueberry and Watson Drive. And then our neighbor across the street, Jen Perry, said she was going to try to make it here if she could get her children's homework finished in time. But her kids were a little bit of a handful, so I don't think she finished. But I appreciate you at least hearing me out on this. And I can tell you that I honestly spoke with all of my neighbors on Blueberry, Watson, and most of Mountain View, and they seem fine with it. So I appreciate you giving me your time and attention tonight.
All right. Rich, can you slide the site plan up on the screen?
How far?
Okay, it's better now. So what I couldn't see was what the distance was to the sideline on the opposite side of the house.
Okay.
And is that all out of bounds because of the site, the other end of the house? Is that all?
Over on this end of the house here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the easement's here.
Okay.
So this is the property line down here on this side. If he was to put a addition on this side, it would still end up requiring a variance on that side. This end of the house is also the end where the bedrooms are. So putting an attached garage on the bedroom end of the house isn't exactly
Okay. All right.
an advisable building practice just because of the flammability issues right next to the bedroom
Okay.
on a ranch style house.
So regardless, one end or the other, a garage would require a variance.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And the septic system is out in the back, Rich? Do you have
Correct.
anything from, it's out underneath the easement, out basically in the easement or something?
It's right here behind the house, kind of in just barely in the easement area. So it's really all back here behind the house.
Okay. Dave, do you have any questions?
No, I think all my questions have been answered.
Greg?
No, I'm good.
Peter?
No, I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay. I'm guessing only because I asked about on the other end, I'm guessing from the site plan, it looks like the driveway's on the other side, so it would almost line up with the garage.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you're looking to build basically a one-car garage
Yes, sir.
with a little bit of storage to offset storage that you don't have. The hardship is the small lot with a septic system and a big section of your backyard taken up by an easement from high tension power lines from Eversource, correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay. So the way this works now is I'm going to ask if there's anyone else that speak in favor of this appeal. And I'm going to go around and you could actually, if any of your neighbors want to speak or any of your family members, they just need to give their name and address for the record. And they have the opportunity to speak. And after that's done, I'm going to ask if anyone wants to speak in opposition. If there is opposition, I'll afford you a couple minutes to rebut any concerns they have. And then the board may ask you more questions. But then once we feel we have enough information, we'll close the hearing and move on to the next one. So I'm going to ask 3 times if there's anyone else to speak in favor of this appeal.
Hi, my name is Francine Bachman and I live right next door at 19 Blueberry Hill Road. And I have no problems whatsoever with the new addition being put on the garage. I know they need the room because every time I come over here, it gets a little tighter and tighter. So they definitely need more room. So I heartfully do agree that a new garage would solve a lot of their problems. Thank you.
And you're the neighbor that's the most affected by this?
Yes, I am. They just have to provide me with some earplugs.
You got it.
Okay.
That's the neighbor, all our stuff's in her house.
Yeah.
Does any board member have any questions for Ms. Bachman?
Nope.
No. All right. Hearing no questions. Is there anyone else to speak in favor of this appeal?
We're all in favor.
We're all in favor of it.
Just
You just say your
give
name.
your name and address for the record and state you're in favor.
My name is Patricia Clausen. I live at 27 Blueberry Hill Road, right on the opposite side. And I'm in favor of this addition for them. They need it.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyone else to speak in favor?
Come on, Cal.
Hi, I'm Kathy Shamroy. I live at 32 Blueberry Hill Road. I live like across the street, diagonal. I have no problem whatsoever.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone?
Hi, I'm
else to speak-
Jennifer Lundberg. I live across the street at 18 Blueberry Hill Road, and I'm also in favor of him doing the garage.
Anyone else to speak in favor? Anyone else? Oh,
Hi, I'm Ryan's sister, and we could definitely use the extra
your address.
space.
Address.
Name.
23 Blueberry Hill Road, Sarah Flaherty. It'll definitely help us out and would be a great addition to be able to have
thank you.
And the owner?
the owner, our wonderful mother.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Flaherty, 23 Blueberry Hill Road. I enjoy the children living with me, and as I get older, it's helpful. They do everything around the house and out in the backyard with the mowing and weed whacking and everything, so I don't have to do it. It's convenient, and I love having them here, so I'm hoping they stay for longer.
Anyone else to speak in favor?
Yeah, it's been a blessing to live in the city of
Hey,
Norwich.
need my number.
Sean Flaherty, 23 Blueberry Hill Road. It's been a blessing to live in the city of Norwich the past 31 years of life, but I would like to remain here, and this would help keep us all here intact as a family for years to come, so we'd appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
So anyone else to speak in favor? Anyone else to speak in favor? Anyone else to speak in favor? Hearing none. Is there anyone to speak in opposition? Rich, have you is there anybody else signed in that we need to key a mic or anything?
No, I unmuted the one telephone that was called in, which I believe is for the other application anyhow.
All right. Is there anyone else to speak in opposition? Anyone else to speak in opposition? Hearing none. Mr. Flaherty, is there anything you'd like to add before we close this hearing?
Just that I appreciate your guys' time and thank you for at least considering it.
Does any board members have any additional questions?
Nope.
No.
No. Hearing
How's
none.
that?
If I could get a motion to close.
So moved.
This is Greg. I make a motion to close.
Second.
Okay,
Peter.
motion made by Greg and seconded by Peter. All those in favor to close?
Peter,
Greg?
yes.
Greg, yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Greg, yes.
All right. And Mark Benjamin, yes. Meeting has been closed. So now we'll move on to 120 V2106 for 2106 125 Newton Street, request for zoning variant, zoning regulation 1.1 residential bulk requirements to reduce the side yard setback from the minimum of 15 feet to 12 feet for a 10-foot extension of an existing non-conforming deck. Property of Fred W. Charles, application of Fred W. Charles, assessors map number 100, block 2, lot number 16, R20 zone.
Exhibits: A, ZBA application; B, grounds for hardship; C, site plan 1; D, site plan 2; deck plans is E; F is photos, F1 through 4; G is the abutters letter, and H is the assessor card, 2 pages. So here's exhibit B, which is the hardship. And this is the site plan. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
So if I'm following it, Rich, is the stairs and landing there now?
The stairs now, they're incorporated into this hatched area that I'm pointing at, that I'm hovering the hand over.
Okay.
That's the existing deck and stairs. This gray area is the area that increases the nonconformity. Everything to the right of that gray area that would be new, and including everything in this hashed area, would be conforming, because the existing deck is existing non-conforming, could be reconstructed, rebuilt exactly as it is. The reason we're here is for this extension of this, 3 foot by 10 foot, this area, 3 foot by 10 foot for the extension on the 16 by 20 deck.
Okay. Does everybody see that before we open the application?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Makes sense to me as well. Are you all set, Rich?
I am set.
All right. Would the applicant please explain to the board name and address, what you'd like to do, and why you need to do it?
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, my name is Fred Charles, 125 Newton Street in Norwich, Connecticut. Like Ryan, I contacted Mr. Shuck in regards to replacing my deck. I've been here about 9 years, and when I bought the house, the deck wasn't in great shape, but now it's through rot and my stairs are barely hanging on. I wanted to replace the deck. So in doing so, I found out that I was gonna put stairs on the opposite side where the variance is. I couldn't do so, so then I'm gonna keep my landing, but I wanted to make the deck bigger. I've got 2 little kids, got a family. I always have, you know, my mother-in-law over, and we want to entertain outside, out back. I just want to go straight back. I don't want to go out to the side. I don't want to continue anything. I just want to go straight back with the deck and make it larger for my family, my kids to play on, whatever it may be. And so from my understanding, I had to apply for the variance. Just because aesthetically, I didn't want to go over 3 feet and back out. I wanted that little bit of space. And like I said, I'm just going straight back with it.
Okay. Dave, any questions?
Not at this time, no.
Greg?
Not at the moment, no, but thank you.
Peter?
Oh, nothing I can think of right yet.
So all you're trying to do is square this thing up, maintain the line of the house, and make a square, good-looking deck and not a zigzag pattern. Is that?
Correct. So the landing and the stairs currently where they sit, they'll sit in the same place. The only difference is my deck ends at the top of my stairs. I would be bringing it over just a little bit. That's the only difference. And then I just want to bring it out further just to have a bigger deck. If I figure if I'm going to replace it, I don't want to have a little 6-foot deck. I want to be able to have seating out there and my grill and whatever else. And that's it.
No, 6 foot isn't really a deck.
No, we never use it now as it is. But when, so my stairs are literally, they collapsed and I have to hold them upright. Like I have them, it's a hazard for my kids. So we don't use it at the moment. But so that's essentially what led me into wanting to do the deck to begin with, but it's neither here nor there.
Rich, can you back up? Okay, there you go.
That's a picture of the existing deck and the stairs, how they come down.
All right. So if you were to kick it, if you were to kick the entire thing in 3 feet,
It would go past my slider.
it would go past your slider. Okay.
Can't be halfway through. No.
Right. And it would be starting at the end of the window or something on the,
Right.
on the floor below.
Correct.
All right. Does everybody see that? Ask, Rich, you scrolled down real quick. Can you go back up a couple slides?
Okay,
Just
that's the drawing.
the drawing for the deck. Okay.
Okay,
And all right, that's the one I was looking for. And what's that? A driveway that goes all the way in the back
Yes, sir.
on the other side? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I'll go around the horn again now that we've got the rest of the exhibits. Dave, any questions?
No, I understand what he's trying to do in the situation.
Peter?
No, it looks straightforward to me. I mean, it makes sense. Like you said, the other one isn't a deck.
Right. No. Greg, any questions?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we ask for additional input from other members?
No, thank you. Appreciate your time as well. And From what I understand, I've got the blessing from most of my neighbors. I don't know everybody around here, but the people that I did talk to, they're okay with it.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna ask, we'll have Rich unmute everybody. Is there anyone else to speak in favor of this application?
I think you did
Yes.
it. Oh, sorry.
Yes. We're the
Okay.
neighbor to the left, and we are not in opposition.
Your name and address, please?
It's the Rebner Land Trust,
Okay.
and I represent the land trust. My name's Sherry Spear.
Okay. So you are number 127 Newton Street?
Correct.
Okay. So you're the closest abutting neighbor and
Yes.
you're in support of this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone, all right,
Here.
anyone else to speak in favor of this appeal? Anyone else to speak in favor?
Yes, Ryan Flaherty would like to say I'm in favor. Just because I live in Norwich, I often drive up and down Newton Street. You wouldn't even be able to see this from the front. But anything for his family to be able to enjoy more time together and have some nice outdoor dining, I think it's a plus. Absolutely.
Thank you. Anyone else to speak in favor? Hearing none. Anyone to speak in opposition? Any opposition? Any opposition? Hearing none. Mr. Charles, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, that was very kind of them. Thank you very much. I think I've added everything I needed to. I do appreciate it.
All right, does any board member have any additional questions?
No.
All right. If I could get a motion to close the hearing.
Move to close the hearing.
Motion,
Greg, sorry.
motion made by Greg, and I think Peter seconded before I started talking. Was that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Before I call for a vote, Rich, can you just slide up and show the hardship again? Greg, that was your motion.
Yep.
I'd like to see you somehow work that hardship into the motion.
Okay, I will move. Are you looking at, we're just closing the meeting. We're not voting on it, right? Correct?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm one step ahead already. I'm okay. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. I don't want to miss anything here. All right. So we got a motion to close the hearing. All those in favor to close? Greg?
Greg, aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Mark Benjamin, aye. Unanimous motion. Hearing's been closed. So now we'll go into the formal deliberations. Application V2105, 23 Blueberry Hill Road, request for variance to zoning regulation, section 1.1. Residential bulk requirements to reduce the side yard setback from the minimum of 15 feet to 3 feet for the construction of a 33 by 15 attached garage addition. Property of John T. Flaherty and Elizabeth C. Flaherty. Application of Ryan Flaherty, assessor's map number 73, block number 1, lot number 61, R20 zone. You've had the testimony. If I could get a motion, please.
I'll make a
Mr. Greg, I'll
motion.
move to accept.
I think Peter beat you to it, Greg.
That's okay. I'll second his motion then.
All right.
Oh, you will. I based on that, based on the hardships with Eversource and their easement and the fact that the septic arrangement of the house precludes them from using the backside, and you can't put the garage where the bedrooms are, that the only actual places where he has it. So I'm all in favor of letting him. He has the hardships for sure. So, and it's certainly not going to ruin the neighborhood. It'll be an advantage for the Flahertys, for Mr. and Mrs. Flaherty. I know Mr. Flaherty is absconded away. He's down Florida, but I guess they're doing this behind his back, maybe. No, they wouldn't do that. But no, that's my second.
No. Be
Sorry
careful.
about that, guys. I had to do that.
Thanks, Pete. That's awesome.
But that's my second,
Thank you.
and I'll stick to it.
Greg, that was your second.
I have to agree with Peter. I think I don't know the family that well. I know Ryan, but that's about it. But just listening and looking at what they have, they really can't do anything. I feel really bad for their neighbor having to deal with Ryan all the time, bringing his stuff over there and sticking it in her shed. So I think it'd be a good thing to go ahead and let them build this, and I don't see any issue with it.
Dave?
Yeah, I mean, the hardship with the Eversource easement and the location of the house, basically to put in the garage, it's going to be, a non-conformance. So yeah, I think that's sufficient hardship.
Okay. I also will be supporting this. One of our other considerations, the hardship is easily demonstrated with the size of the yard, the space that Eversource is taking over, and the septic system. But I do believe the garage, as the applicant stated, is in conformance with the neighborhood, which is one of our main concerns. And a 15-foot wide garage, similar to my opinion on the next applicant's deck, a 15-foot wide garage really isn't a big garage. It's an oversized single car garage. It's a big shed. So I don't think the applicant is trying to reach for the moon and try to build some 30 by 40 to park RVs or something in there. I think it's reasonable. It fits with the neighborhood, and it'll be a nice addition to the neighborhood. The neighbors certainly support the idea of it, and it'll be harmonious with the neighborhood. So I will be supporting this application on all the grounds everybody else has mentioned. So hearing all that, I'll call for a vote. Peter, was your motion, Peter?
Yes, aye.
Greg?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Mark Benjamin? Aye. Unanimous motion passes. So, Mr. Flaherty, there is a 15-day appeal period that you can't proceed with anything, but after the 15 days, you can stop in and see Rich. He'll show you how to file this with the tax assessor and on the deed, and then you can start moving forward with permits and everything. So,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you for your time, and thanks for getting the neighbors to get the support for you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
All right. Application V2106, 125 Newton Street, request for variant zoning regulation 1.1 residential bulk requirement to reduce the side yard setback for a minimum of 15 feet to 12 feet for a 10-foot extension of existing non-conforming deck. Property of Fred W. Charles, application of Fred W. Charles, assessors map number 100, block 2, lot 16, R20 zone. If I could get a motion on this application.
I'll move to accept it on the hardship of that his deck is actually falling apart. He really can't put it anywhere else except for where it is currently existing.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
All right. Your motion, Greg, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, looking at this, it's just another one of the same scenarios we've seen a lot. It's, unfortunately, the deck's going bad. I mean, I understand wanting to have it bigger. A 5 or 6 foot deck isn't really anything to put kids on. Even putting a couple adults on it wouldn't be worth your time. So I don't see a real issue with this. I think it's fine. His neighbors seem to think it's all right. So I don't see a problem with it.
Peter, was your second?
My second. I agree with Greg. I mean, it just makes sense. Makes good use of a space that's useless to him right now.
Dave?
The existing deck is non-conforming, so he's expanding a conforming, deck, and presumably the house, that corner of the house is also non-conforming, or side, I should say. He's not going out further than the house, so it it fits that line, and the size is it's a reasonable size that he's asking for, and putting a zig in it, I think, would make it look odd and distract from the neighborhood, which is obviously at least something I don't support. So I support this variance.
All right. I also will be supporting it, and I agree with you, Dave. I like nice, straight, clean lines, and to step it back and forth to meet a 3-foot requirement that will take it out of alignment with the door, with the existing door slider, just doesn't make sense. It's reasonable. I wouldn't be supporting this if it were stepping further towards the property line, but you're maintaining within the block of the house. So I don't see an issue with it. It just makes sense. I think the worst part of this is when the poor applicant gets the lumber prices these days to build such a big deck.
Yeah, I already handled all that.
So I will be supporting it. Based it, as Dave said, it will be conforming with the neighborhood. It makes sense. It'll be a nice improvement. So all those in favor to grant. Peter?
Greg, aye.
Oh, Greg, Peter? Aye. Dave?
Aye.
Mark Benjamin, aye. Unanimous. Motion passes. Mr. Charles, as I told Mr. Flaherty, there's a 15-day appeal period. You can stop in and see Rich, and he'll help you walk through to file this through the town clerk's office and get you moving on your permits.
I thank you guys so much. It made my whole day. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Congratulations, Fred.
Thank you very much. You as well.
All right. Staff updates, Rich.
I have a variance coming in for next month up in the business park. It is
Which one?
Huh?
I said, which one?
I don't have the address in front of me.
No.
Deanna has the file upstairs, actually.
You
what
didn't catch my sarcasm.
Oh, what I did was I referred it on behalf of the Zoning Board of Appeals to the CCP because it's a use variance. Previously in that area, as you're all aware, in the industrial park, they also allowed for residential homes. So there was a piece of property up there that it's actually surrounded by residential apartments. The zone changed. So they're coming in requesting a use variance because the zone no longer allows for residential uses in that zone. So we have to refer it to CCP. So I referred it to CCP and it will be coming to you guys for next month.
CCP will act on it before our next meeting?
Yeah, CCP will have the opportunity to review it and act on it. They have 35 days. 30 days, 35 days is what we have written in the regulations. But we try to be preemptive. If the application comes in, I try to get the application to them first so they can review it and comment before it even comes to you. So there's not a question up in the air. And hopefully we don't have to require a continuance of a public hearing.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Any questions or concerns from the board members before we call for an adjournment?
No,
Um,
just hope to
do we
see everybody
expect
in
to meet
person
in-
soon.
Oh,
yeah,
Sorry, Dave.
yeah, that's my quote. Are we expecting to be in person next month?
Yes, as far as I know, what I know as of right now, next month will be in person. What I will do is I will resend the meeting schedule and the room assignments. It will be in the city hall. I believe it's room 335.
Okay. And Rich, you could clarify whatever CDC protocols we're going to have to adhere to for the meeting.
Yes.
And let us know whether it be mass or distancing, and let all the applicants know as well.
Right. If I understand correctly, 335 is a pretty small room.
Okay.
So we may have to, if I've got to look and see what they ultimately assigned us for a room in our printed notice schedule in the clerk's office. Because if that room is too small, then we have to move to another room. I'll have to notice the meeting as a special meeting because the location of the room changed.
35.
Or the other possibility is,
Where's that one?
the other possibility would be that we actually set up in another room. The members start the meeting and recess it to a new room. So we'll discuss those nuances when we get next month.
I just hearing what you have proposed to us, I see that could be a crowd coming.
Yes.
So I would certainly consider possibly council chambers or something, or a bigger room.
Right.
All right.
Rich, isn't 335 the old council chambers, the one that's like down the hall?
Yeah, I'm not real familiar.
Yes.
I'm not in the city hall very often, and we're in a
Yes.
different.
So, because I remember using that for the ethics commission. It was actually a good sized room.
Peter, is that the one right next to the mayor's office?
Yes,
Okay, so that's a good sized room. We shouldn't have any issues.
165 people.
Okay, so we're all set. As long as they assigned us that room, we're good to go.
All right.
Hey, Rich, call the mayor's office tomorrow and ask for it.
Okay, well, it's already been, our room assignments have already been assigned in our schedule. And I know there was some communication between Betsy and Deanna and Jackie as far as who was getting what rooms for what meetings, because there was conflicting meetings in some of the requested rooms. So I've got to make sure of our room assignments.
Okay.
All right. And no other questions or concerns, if you could get a motion to adjourn.
So moved to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made by Greg, second.
Second.
Second by Peter. All those in favor to adjourn? Greg,
Greg, aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Mark Benjamin, aye. Meeting adjourned at 8:05. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Congratulations to the applicants.
Thank
And
you
we'll
very much.
see everyone in person next month.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Have a great night.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you. Good
Night,
night.
everyone.
Good night.